Hi, and welcome KCIW listeners at 100.7 FM, online at kciw.org, Brookings, Oregon. And hi to our syndicated listeners at KZZH 96.7 FM, Access Humboldt, Eureka, California, just right down the coast from us. And to our listeners over in the Rogue Valley and Ashland, KSKQ 89.5 and Medford 94.1. We are so glad you are here with us. Yes, this is me, Joanie Lindenmeyer, Joyously Free Radio and Gadio Show. I'm the best-selling author of None Better, An Amazing Love Story, and co-author of Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts. I'm so glad that you are tuning in today to be with us. I'm a resident of Harbor, Oregon, a retired high school teacher, a recent author who's published 3 books in 2 years, created an audiobook, and with friend and film producer Michael Gorse, created a short film called Wowzer. And yes, we are on a roll. And ladies and gentlemen, people out there, you are on a roll for a guest speaker today who's going to knock your socks off. But most of all, I love life and love being the producer and host of this high-energy, joyously free radio Gadio show, so named by Will and Viv. Our show talks about LGBTQ plus stories and tips, along with religion, church, faith, spirituality, and joy, those joyously free moments where we can radiate and spread abundant joy and abundant freedom. Yes, that is also the title of my second book, Joyously Free. But on this radio broadcast, just as in my everyday life, there will be no hate speech, no hate behaviors, and no bullying. It will be blasted with what I call the 3 C's: courage, confidence, and collaboration. Together, let's sparkle and seek understanding. Let's think out of the box, or no boxes at all, to be open-minded as an open parachute. So let's begin. Let's begin with something that Carol and I did, my sweetie, for 40 years. We said every day to each other, I'll say it's a brand new day, and your response is, it's never been lived before. So let's give it a try. It's a brand new day.
It's never been lived before.
Woohoo! We got that one down. And you can say that more than one time a day, too, if you want. Our guest is sitting right across, beautifully with sparkling eyes and a big, big smile. But hang on. First, we need to do our prayer. Let's open our hearts and let's ask the divine to shine light on our community and our world. I excitedly believe in hope, in the power of the spiritual, and that Jesus, God, Spirit, whatever name you put on a higher being, is always with me and always with you. So be not afraid or troubled, saddened or depressed. Joy and peace are an internal expression of love and harmony that is already within each of us. We only have to reach deep and let it out. So let's center ourselves. Calmly, take a deep breath in with the good and out with any doubt. Again, breathe in through your nose with hope and out from your mouth with fears or anxiety. Last one, take a big, big, deep breath in with joy and out with anxiety, worry, despair, or stress. In the name of Mother Earth, Creator God, Jesus Redeemer, and the blowing winds of the Holy Spirit, we say hi. Hi, light. Hi, love. Hi, Jesus. Hi, Spirit. Thank you for being with us today. Well, today's reading I chose from the Psalms in the Bible, and it's Psalm number 47. And then let me do a little reflection after I read the psalm. Again, Psalm 47. All peoples, clap your hands. Cry to God with shouts of joy, for the Lord, the Most High, is awesome. Oh my gosh, when I read that in my prayer corner this morning, all I could do was literally yell from my chair out the window, looking at the ducks and the geese and the grass and just saying, hey God, you are awesome. And yes, I am joyful from the inside out when you realize that nothing can tear you down when you have a Jesus, when you have a higher being, when you have a spirit. That's all you really need in life. And yes, clap your hands, all peoples. Cry to God with shouts of joy. And yes, God is so awesome. Oh my gollies, it just touches my heart every time I pray and pray with all of you. So let us end our prayer this morning, this afternoon, this day, whatever it is, whatever time it is for you right now. Let's lift up our friends and our family. May you Holy One, find and give us guidance and healing. May you bless us with your will, your way, and we do this all with a big amen. So, ladies and gentlemen, children, kids, animals, whoever, KCIW, KZZH, and KSKQ listeners, I am so excited to introduce to you a new friend that I have. And I just want to say she is sparkling across the studio right here today. Her name is Gina Harris. And Gina Harris is the vice president of the Wild Rivers Soccer Club. She's the wife of Steve Harris, the president of the soccer club, and a mother of 4 girls. Welcome, 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 Gina. So glad you're here.
Oh, thank you, Joanie. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, everybody, our topic today is youth sports and how they create lifelong fun, skills, and memories. And of course, we're going to tie that into soccer, also known as
Football,
the world's most popular sport. So, Gina, thank you for being here. Thank you for representing Steve, who couldn't be here, and for representing all the players and the referees and all the families involved in the youth sports around our local town. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Joanie.
Yes. So how about jumping in and telling us a little bit about you and then the relationship with youth sports?
Well, as you mentioned, we have 4 girls total, and our 2 youngest have been avid soccer players ever since they were in preschool.
Ooh.
So we started coaching them down in California when we lived in Silicon Valley, and we were part of the American Youth Soccer Association, the organization there. Over here, we're a league under the Oregon Youth Soccer Association. So you'll see OYMSA. And so we comply to kind of their rules and regulations. We are a non-competitive league, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about that.
Good.
So that's how I got into youth soccer, is coaching our littles. My husband, growing up in England, huge football fan. His family from the 1940s has been supporting Chelsea, Premier League team. So I married in to be a Chelsea fan. And so the girls, they have all of their England and U.S., as well as we followed the New Zealand Ferns during the Women's World Cup. So we have New Zealand jerseys and everything. We really absolutely adore our football.
Right on. Yeah, and I'm going to jump in and tell you, I coached 1 year of soccer to 5-year-olds, and I think they had more fun picking up the flowers in the field than they did circling around and kicking the ball around. But it was so joyful. And isn't that what the sport does?
Oh, it's totally joyful. And worldwide. I mean, when you actually watch a soccer game and you watch the fans and their love of their sport, their love of the team, they have songs that they sing to not only team, but specific players. And so we've been to the Premier League games for Chelsea, and it was such an experience. But it is total joy. Getting into these games, yeah.
Right on. Talk about where they play. Where does the Chelsea team play? What's the arena, the stadium like?
Okay, so that's Stamford Bridge, and it is pretty amazing to be there. If you're especially on the shed end, their fans are super fans. So we've been on the shed end, we've been in some box seats, and where it's a little more, I'd say, refined in the box. It is so much fun. We sing along, and you can't help but to be engaged and part of a larger group of individuals, all cheering for their one particular team. And yeah, because over there they have separate, within the arenas, separate sections for the away team. And it's just to keep things civil because they have had historically fights break out.
Okay.
And so they keep it civil by having their teams, separated. It's not like an American arena that you would go into, say, American football, where you have maybe fans of opposing sides sitting right next to each other. You generally don't see that in a Premier League arena.
Right on. And remind me the colors of the Chelsea team, the mascot, and some of the players' names that are just hot to trot right now?
The Stanford Bridge, it's Stanford the Lion. So we have pictures of the girls with Stanford the Lion, and it's Chelsea Blue. So they're the Blues.
Okay.
Yeah, so opposed to other our teams, the red teams, who we have some rivalries against, but yeah, they're the Chelsea Blues. So some of the players that we follow, I guess you caught me off guard because I know them, and I'm trying to think of some of the names of them. Steve would just be rattling them off.
Well, people, you're going to have to Google them.
I know
you're going to have to Google them.
I know, because now, like, I'm going to kick myself. I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to be thinking of the different players. From when I first started, it's Frankie Lampard is one of the historical players. John Terry, that we follow. We have jerseys with them on it, and Frankie Lampard, he was a coach there for a while. But yeah, so there's a lot of really young, good players that are coming up in Chelsea right now.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, and this is what you're doing. You've been integrated into youth sports for a long time in your life, personally, as Steve is. And now you're here in Brookings, Oregon, and you're vice president and president of the local club. Talk to us about the local soccer that we have going on.
Right. So for the Wild Rivers Soccer Club, Steve and I are in our 5th year. So we're going into their 2-year terms. So we're going into our 3rd term. So those first 2 terms, Steve was the president. I was the treasurer registrar. So I'm going to be doing some other youth nonprofits. And so I'm trying to reduce my time to spend more time on those. So as it's quite a time commitment for the treasurer registrar. They do a lot of work. It almost becomes a full-time job.
Wow.
During the registration.
How many youth register?
So, this last year, we were at pre-pandemic levels. We had 470 kids. And
470 kids?
Around 370 from Brookings, 100 from Gold Beach. So we have a director of operations in Gold Beach. And at the U12 and U14 level, the kids will go to Gold Beach or come down here to play. So we play those teams. One of our largest age groups, though, is the U6. So this is the pre-KK, and that's the age that my girls got into soccer.
Okay.
They are so fun to watch.
Okay.
They're absolutely adorable. At that point, they're just learning the skill. And really with our league, as I said, it's non-competitive, and you mentioned joy. Right. It is about joy, and it's love of the game. And is what we really focus on.
And that means teamship and having fun with your friends who are on the same team or friends on the opposing team.
I was just going to say, so it's not just the same team, it's also the opposing teams as well, because we are a small community, and even kids in Gold Beach, they play with our kids. In fact, if Gold Beach doesn't have enough players on one of our team, our kids play on their team.
Awesome.
Same with, especially at that U14, so that's about the 7th, 8th grade level. The kids like to play with their friends on the opposing team if someone doesn't show. So it truly is just love of the game. And awesome. Even last year was my first year coaching one of those U14 teams, and it was a blast. They just love scrimmaging, love playing the game. And you learn the most by actually playing the game.
Absolutely.
So we'll do some drills and stuff, but the game itself is the best teacher. We have a strict code of conduct for the parents who are coaches. So all the coaches are volunteers within our community. They're mostly parents of the players. Other non-parents are welcome to sign up as coaches. We have some people that maybe don't have kids. They played professionally, semi-professionally. They played in college. They're welcome to be coaches. Everyone goes through a background check in order to become a coach. And we would love for people.
Are you always looking for coaches?
We're always looking for coaches. Yeah. Always looking for coaches.
So if somebody has played or been a part of the game or wants to learn, that they can contact you, right?
Absolutely.
And you better throw out your contact information many times during the show.
Yeah, we will. So well, it's you. Actually, you can go on to BH Soccer and and that'll take you to the Wild River Soccer Club website. You can also contact us at wildriversoccerclub@gmail.com.
Okay. And the BH Soccer, was that .com or .org?
That I believe is .org.
Okay. All right.
I have to
Super. So we're going to
look
repeat
that up
that in a little bit, everybody.
I'll look that up
so grab your
to
pen
make
and paper
sure.
handy or your phone, make some notes or whatever. Are these co-ed teams or?
That's a great question, Joanie. Most of our teams are co-ed. And we get a lot of questions because there's at certain ages, the kids start becoming kind of more aware of their different skill levels, and they want to play with and against their gender. But generally, it's based on the number of kids who sign up, because we have to ensure that we have equal number of teams within a division in order to have games.
Right.
And we have some years where it's been 2/3 girls, 1/3 boys within a division. So we can't have gendered teams. So most of our divisions, and when I say divisions, that would be like a U6. So that's under 6, under, and then we have a U10.
The U stands
under
for
10,
under.
For is under, right? Under, it's age-based versus grade-based.
Right.
Because that's a question, too, we get a lot. But it's all based on the age of the child as of September 1st of a given year.
Got it.
And so, and that is something that's determined by our Oregon Youth Soccer Association.
Right.
Yeah, so we go by their rules and regulations as being a part of their league. They offer us insurance, and we can also play. We could play competitively within that league, other leagues within the organization. But as I said, we keep it local, so we don't want our families to have to travel.
Right.
Like I said, there's the older kids will go to maybe Gold Beach will come down here, but we don't want them to have to travel any farther, because this is a recreational league. It is about the love of the game. It is about, it's about joy and, just getting kids out there exercising, having fun, learning the skills of good sportsmanship.
Right. Sportsmanship, sportswomanship,
whatever you want to call it, right?
Athletes.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and they're learning about themselves.
Absolutely.
And the memories that they're creating along the way are profound, because they'll have their jersey, or they're having an award ceremony, or you're going out for orange juice and pizza, or I don't know what else you do.
Yeah, so it depends on kind of what the coaches want to do. A lot of coaches, and actually the kids determine, like our kids this year, they wanted to have a pizza party. And we actually had it right there on the field after our last practice.
How fun.
But they really enjoyed being together. And some teams, they'll do, parents will sign up and they'll bring the oranges and the snacks, and, for each game. It's more the younger kids kind of get into it. When we coached the older, we were always bringing Gatorade. We made sure we had Gatorade water at all the practices, at all the games for them.
Right on. Oh, how fun. How fun. And a couple questions here, because this is everybody that is listening can fill in. And if you don't live here in Brookings, there's other communities, other places that have these soccer leagues. So please get a hold of somebody within your area. But let's talk about fees, how much it costs, and time commitment.
Okay, so as far as fees, this year is the first year in at least 5 years where we are increasing our fees. It'll be $68 total during regular registration. That includes a $3 service fee, but that pays then for the jerseys, the socks, but things to run the league that you may not think about. We pay our referees,
right?
Because they are certified referees, and they are mostly kids. That's 13 and above. So it's a great, time for those kids to learn some leadership skills and get paid. And they get paid, compensated fairly well.
Nice.
We also have to pay for equipment, for the paint that goes onto the field, the porta potties.
Right.
All of that adds up. And as I mentioned, insurance. So while the OISA, they provide that insurance coverage, we have to pay them for insurance for every single participant, not only the kids, for the adult volunteers, those coaches. We also have to pay for background checks.
Wow.
For all volunteers.
So it's $60 per kid,
it's
per youth.
It's $65 plus the $3 service fee. So it's $68.
$68.
That's
and if
during
somebody
regular
is
registration.
Is that a little bit, is there scholarships available? Or if there's somebody cannot afford that, can they work something out with all of you?
So we do offer scholarships. Last year we had approximately 20 scholarships. So we have an application process for those scholarships. They can contact the Wild River Soccer Club.
So don't hold back if the money's an issue.
With the money. So do ask. We were actually we were the lowest rec league price in the area. And so we have just been breaking even. And with the increased cost of everything, for this next year, we determined we're going to have to increase it in order to have a viable club.
Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense. And if you're out there and you're listening to this, maybe you want to donate $100 or $500 to the organization to make all this stuff happen for our community. You got to think about that. 470 kids. That's a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids. And actually, that's a great point, Joanie. So we have sponsors for the clubs, and each team that is sponsored, the sponsors will receive the name of their business on the back of the jersey. So there is advertising with that. So we're trying to increase the number of sponsors this year, because last year we didn't have a sponsor for each team. So the Wild River Soccer Club had to sponsor several teams.
Right.
So that was money that came out of our funds in order to sponsor those teams, and again to have, we have enough money available to pay all the operating costs.
And I think it's so fun when you're walking around town and you're seeing these young soccer players in their jerseys, carrying their cleats or carrying their bag or whatever, and you see the name of a business on the shirt. And it's exactly what happens in the professional world too. There are professional sponsors that do that. High schools, college, we're always looking for sponsors for good programs. And this is a program that creates lifelong fun skills and memories.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. And they do wear, and you mentioned those jerseys, they will wear them in subsequent years.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I just think it's so great when you see a mob, a gang, a team of people, and to show up at the fields. Let's talk about where you play.
Yes. So we play at Bud Cross. So that's one of our local community parks here. Bud Cross for that U6, the youth, little ones. And we then play at Azalea we call it the Lundeen Field. So there's a field there. So that's for our U12. Our U10 and U14, they're at the Kalmiopsis school. Behind the school, there's what they call a turnaround field, a small field. And then there's a large practice field that the high schoolers play on that we use.
Awesome. Okay, I know you have dates for registration coming up. We're down to about 2 minutes. Give us the real details we need to know if somebody wants to get their kid, grandson, neighbor kid involved.
Registration starts May 11th, and it runs until July 1st for regular registration. We will have 1 week for late registration, and then we have to shut down registration because we have to have time in order to order those custom uniforms, to get coaches, to schedule all the games. So there's a lot of behind the scenes that goes into running the league. And so that's why we have these dates ahead of time.
Is that online? How does somebody do that? So
online, so go to bhsoccer.info. That is our website, and you can register through there. And again, if you have any questions, it's wildriversoccerclub@gmail.com. The games start September 12th. And they run through October 31st. So there's 8 weeks.
Awesome. An 8-week program of these running, crazy, wonderful kids out there kicking a ball, chasing a ball.
Having a joyous time playing
my gosh.
And
sliding and tackling and mud.
Well, we don't do the tackling, but when it's raining, they get money and they absolutely love it.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. In a quick summary, what are you thinking, Gina? What else does everybody need to know today?
I get out there and register your kids as soon as possible to be to participate in our fall league. And as Joanie mentioned, if the price and the cost is an issue, please email us and we'll get you a scholarship for them.
Awesome.
So thank you for your time, Joanie, for having me on.
Oh my gosh.
Great to share our love of football with you.
Exactly. And I'm a sports freak anyway. I just love sports. So this is like right up my alley. I should say right up my field, whatever. Yeah. So yep. But I want to thank you so much, Gina, for being here. Tell Steve we missed him today, but we'll catch him another time.
Absolutely.
Follow Gina's advice. Get your kids registered, really, really soon.
Yeah, do it early.
May 11th.
Don't wait until the last minute, though, to ensure there's a spot for your child.
Good point. Oh, listeners, what a great day it's been here on the Oregon coast and Northern California and the Rogue Valley. Thank you for being with Joyously Free with me and Gina Harris. And we just are glad you're here. We want to give high tens to our wonderful Mike Gorse on sound, Candace, Rose, and Tom at KCIW. We want to give compliments to who sponsor this show, Joyously Free, Steve Van Cleve up in Alaska, Sally and Todd Roy right here locally. But, if it weren't for sponsors, things wouldn't happen. So we want to give those accolades out there. We also want to make sure that you're tuning in all the time to the great events around Brookings, Oregon. And every single day, we always say, smile big, wear bright colors, have a great day. And that goes to you too, Gina. Big hugs!
All right, big hugs, Joanie. Thank you.
Thank you.